Hey everybody, welcome to Crack a Pack Tuesday number 57 on the Mana League. I'm John as always, and we've got ourselves a pack of Shadows over Innistrad. We're going to open this pack, see what's in there, and discuss what we would take pack one, pick one if this was a draft. Alright, up first, we've got ourselves a Thrivent Inspector. Thrivent Inspector is a single white mana for a creature human soldier. It's a 1/2, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to investigate. So you get yourself a clue. Thrivent Inspector's surprisingly fine. She's just fine. She's a 1-drop that's actually kind of playable. I have heard some people say they might take her first pick. I don't think that's a correct choice, to be honest. But I wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't be too upset taking her relatively highly. But I'm not in the first pick camp, so out she goes. Up next, we've got ourselves a Silverland Snapper. Silverland Snapper is 5 and a blue for a creature turtle. It's a 6/6, and it can attack unless you have cast a non-creature spell this turn. Absolute garbage. This card just should never be played. Not even as a blocker. It's so bad. Totally out on Silverland Snapper. Up next, we've got ourselves a Militant Inquisitor. Militant Inquisitor is 2 and a white, creature human cleric. It's a 2/3, and it gets +1/+0 for each equipment you control. I've seen this put to some okay work in the green-white humans deck, but you have to play a bunch of equipment, and there's not really that many that you really want to be playing. It's an okay pickup, though. 2/3 for 3 isn't unplayable, but certainly not first pick. Next up, we have Shard of Broken Glass. Shard of Broken Glass is an artifact equipment. It's equip cost of a single colorless, generic mana. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Not playable, not even if you're really trying desperately to get stuff in your graveyard. There's just so many better ways to do that. Shard of Broken Glass, big no. Hopefully we'll get a first pick at some point, but I've definitely seen a lot of packs like this with Shadows over Innistrad where you just go through all the commons and find nothing worthwhile. Up next, we've got ourselves a Stromkirk Mentor. Stromkirk Mentor, 3 and a black for a 4/2 creature vampire soldier. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target vampire you control. So not on himself, unfortunately. If he could put it on himself, he would be very good. It'd be a 5/3 for 4 virtually. In a heavy vampire deck, these are okay, but you certainly don't pick these to go into the vampire deck. You need to already be solidly in it before you think about taking these guys. Otherwise, pass them by. Up next, we have Tormenting Voice. Tormenting Voice, 1 and a red for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Tormenting Voice, discard a card, draw 2 cards. It's a fine card. It does exactly what it says, and sometimes you want to do this, sometimes you don't. It's not that exciting, really. You certainly never first pick this, but in some red decks, you play it. Obviously, it gets a little bit better with Madness cards, but yeah, Tormenting Voice, not a first pick. Next up, we've got Root Out. Root Out's 2 and a green for a sorcery. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Investigate. I assume at some point I knew that you investigated with Root Out, and then at some point I forgot. And last night at FNM I realized, hey, you actually get to investigate off of it. Still not good. Still not something you ever first pick, and not something you ever pick highly. You pick this when it's the only green card left in the deck, or in the pack. And you don't main deck it, ever. There's no reason to main deck this in this format. It should always be in your sideboard. Can come out of your sideboard for sure, but you should never main deck it. Final common is Rottenheart Ghoul, so we are totally whiffing on potential first picks in our commons. Well, Rottenheart Ghoul is 3 and a black for a creature zombie. It's a 2/4. When Rottenheart Ghoul dies, target player discards a card. Generally, you pick your opponent, but that's honestly not even a good choice in this format because of Madness and because of Delirium and etc. So you could pick yourself, which hopefully you've planned for this to die and you have a really juicy discard target. But generally, this thing just does not do anything that you want to be doing. Certainly not first pickable and barely playable. First on common, we have Weirding Wood. Weirding Wood is 2 and a green for an enchantment aura. Enchant land. When Weirding Wood enters the battlefield, investigate. Enchanted land has tap, add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. So you can turn your lands from tapping for 1 mana into tapping for 2 mana. If you really want to go deep on like a 5-color green deck, this is a possibility. This is something that might help out, but Otherwise, I really don't like Weirding Wood. I don't like taking time off to do Weirding Wood. The fast decks in the format are just going to punish you hard. So I'm not going to first pick Weirding Wood, and I'm probably never going to really pick Weirding Wood anyways. Well, the hits just keep coming. We've got Dissension in the ranks. 3 red for an instant. Target blocking creature fights another target blocking creature. This means that your opponent must have 2 creatures that are blocking. That doesn't happen very often. And then the most ideal situation would be that they're mirror copies of each other. So they're both 3/3s, or they're both 2/2s, or they're both 5/5s, so they kill each other. Almost all the time, they're not going to successfully do that. Some horrible amounts of the time, they're both going to be like 2/4s or 3/4s, and they're going to do literally nothing to each other. And then, of course, the vast majority of the time, your opponent's not blocking with 2 creatures. They're blocking with 1. Dissension in the ranks is horrid. Absolutely horrid. You should never be playing this card. It is flat out bad. Do not touch it ever. It should be last pick. That leaves 1 uncommon in this pack. Let's cross our fingers. I haven't even looked at this card yet. It is a Ghoul Steed. I would not want to first pick a Ghoul Steed, but in this pack, it's looking like that. Ghoul Steed, 4 and a black for a creature zombie horse. It's a 4/4. Pay 2 and a black, discard 2 cards. Return Ghoul Steed from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It's a fine creature. It's a 4/4 for 5, which is fine. And the fact that it can come back for discarding 2 cards is totally fine. Ideally in black, hopefully in black-red, you've got some madness cards, so you can get some extra value out of it, or maybe some Ghoul Caller's Accomplices, or something that will happen in the graveyard and do some good stuff. So Ghoul Steed, I would be okay first picking it in this pack, I guess, if I have to. So that leaves the rare and the flip card. The rare is Odric. Pickable. Odric, Lunarch Marshal, 3 and a white for a legendary creature, human soldier. It's a 3/3, and at the beginning of each combat, creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn if a creature you control has first strike. The same is true for Flying, Death Touch, Double Strike, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Skulk, Trample, and Vigilance. So if anything on your side of the table has an evergreen keyword, or Skulk, which probably will become an evergreen keyword, then everything gets it at the beginning of combat on each turn, your turn and your opponent's turn. Obviously, first picking is where you want to do this, because then you can make sure that you get flyers and you get first strikers and you get equipments that will give menace and things like that. And you can really do some good stuff with Odric. I haven't gotten a chance to play with him yet, but I've seen him play it, and I really think he can do some good stuff. I don't think he's a gigantic bomb, but I think he is decent. So Odric, Lunarch Marshal, gonna hang out in the first pick column. We've got 2 double-face cards, I see. We have a Hinterland Lager. 1 and a green for a creature, human, werewolf. It's a 2/1. At the beginning of each combat, if no spells were cast like usual, you flip it over, and it becomes a 4/2 trample. With the usual, if 2 or more spells were cast by a single player, flip it back over. Hinterland Lager is fine. It's not really first pickable. It would have to be a very weak pack to first pick it, and if it wasn't for Odric, this probably would have started to become a potential first pick in this pack. Thankfully, we did open Odric at least. But yeah, Hinterland Lager is very good. I would not feel bad picking this 2nd or 3rd or 4th in weaker packs, and I will always include at least the first one, probably the second one in most decks. Our second flip is not a rare flip, it's a foil flip. Hopefully you guys can see that. It is a foil Abyssinian Missionaries, 3 and a white for a 3/3 human cleric. At the beginning of your end step, if it's equipped, you get to flip it into Lunarch Inquisitors. Lunarch Inquisitors is a 4/4, and when it transforms into Lunarch Inquisitors, you can exile another target creature until Lunarch Inquisitors leaves the battlefield. Yeah, super solid card. You obviously have to have equipment to really go off with it, but it's pretty solid. In green-white humans, in really white anything, this card just does a ton of work. I've been very happy with Abyssinian Missionaries. So really, these are our 3 potential first picks, and I think I just have to go with Odric here. Ghoul Steed I don't think stands up to these 2 cards. I think we are deciding between one of the white ones, and I think I'd rather just go with the balmy Odric over the Abyssinian Missionaries. Odric requires you to have things, Abyssinian Missionaries requires you to have things, but taking Odric right now allows me to go potentially blue-white and really ramp up on flyers and things like that. But I am going to go for Odric Lunarch Marshal. Definitely let me know what you would have taken out of this pack. Would you have taken the Missionaries, the Ghoul Steed, or something else? Let me know in the comments down below and with that little pop-up in the top right-hand corner. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at The Mana Leak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. And you can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/The Mana Leak. You can also find me now on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Mana Leak. I don't have a strict schedule yet, but I'll usually be on there Sunday evenings, sometimes Saturday evenings, and potentially some evenings throughout the week. That'll all be Eastern Standard Time, of course. So you can check me out there as well. You've got the comment section down below. Please make use of that as well. Click that little thumbs up icon if you like the videos to let me know that you like them and to let YouTube know that you like them. And as well, click subscribe if you haven't, so that way you can see all the latest videos as they pop up. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.